Assalamu alaikum. Here is Dr. Rabi Yasmin Kusa. I hope you guys will be fine. So let's see what we have today in our subject lasers. Here we again have principles of laser. So what are these principles? These are stimulated emission, population inversion, and optical resonator. We have discussed about this stimulated emission. Why is it important for the laser? And how does it happen, and how we can increase the rate of population inversion. This is pretty much clear to you guys. If you still have any confusion, you can ask me. Okay, I am not, you shouldn't be ashamed to ask questions, because I am not ashamed to repeat the things again and again. Okay, I'm very much happy if you guys ask the questions to me. Okay, next is population inversion. We also saw in our previous lecture uh, the population inversion, and this population inversion is very much important for the laser. If you are very much clear to this one, then you can understand laser. Otherwise, then laser is actually nothing without this population inversion. So our concept about the population inversion must be clear. Okay, in this lecture, we will again study this population inversion as a revision, and we will see a little bit more explanation about that. And the last topic will be optical resonator. So these are very, very important stuff for laser. And if we have all these, then we will be able to get the laser. Okay, let's see. Here we have population inversion. For this lecture, I will use the slides of Dr. D.C. Chaudhary. He is a professor in MITTR Institute in India, Chandigarh. So I will use his slides. Okay, our topic is population inversion. We know that for the laser, we needed stimulated emission. What we needed? We needed stimulated emission. And this stimulated emission we can get if we have high population of atom at upper energy level compared to lower energy level. Until we don't get the majority of atom at higher energy state, we can't get stimulated emission. But in equilibrium, we have always majority of atom in a ground state, and we have very less atom at excited state. So we can't get stimulated emission in that condition. So therefore we should not be in equilibrium condition, not thermal equilibrium. To attain this stimulated emission, we have to bring our system to non-equilibrium state. So how we can get this non-equilibrium state? We have to use some external mechanism, and this external mechanism, what we apply is it pumping. By pumping, we can get non-equilibrium condition for to attain the laser. Okay, the non-equilibrium state in which population N2 of upper energy level exceeded to the lower. To a large extent, the population N1 of the lower energy state, as is known as state of population inversion. Okay, this non-equilibrium condition we can get by the pumping, and we will study this later. So when by the pumping, we can increase the population at upper energy level. When this upper energy level will get populated, this situation is called population inversion. Okay. Next is Boltzmann. By Boltzmann distribution, we have already studied in our, I think it was our second lecture. So in this population by Boltzmann distribution, we can find out the population of atoms at any energy level. Okay, and in equilibrium we have observed that the Boltzmann tells us that as we move towards the higher energy level, then the population decreases, and therefore we can get this population inversion just by the help of increasing temperature, either by the help of pumping. The Boltzmann does not tell us about the pumping. Boltzmann talks about energy level and temperature. So with respect to Boltzmann, we can get the population if we increase the temperature. When we will increase the temperature, then the electrons from the lower energy level, they will get energy and they will pop up to upper energy level. Then by this movement of atoms or electrons to the upper energy level, then we will able to get population inversion. By this population inversion, then now we will have maximum chances of attaining stimulated emission. So to attain the population inversion, non-equilibrium condition is required. And this non-equilibrium condition we can get either by increasing the temperature, and mostly in most of the lasers we just use external pumping system because this is much more easy. If we increase the temperature, then our whole system will heat up, and instead of getting good output, we will lose most of the things. Therefore, to get the population inversion, we mostly use pumping, and we will study this pumping later. Is this point clear to you? Is it? If you have any question with respect to that, you can ask me. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Here we have, for a system with three energy states, E1, E2, and E3 in equilibrium, the uppermost level E3 is populated least and the lowest energy level is populated most. Because at thermal equilibrium, always we have seen with the Boltzmann that lowest energy level will always have high population. As we move towards the upper energy level, the population will reduce. And we can see this in this figure. So this figure is in equilibrium. So this is the lowest energy level. So we will have maximum population. And as we move towards the higher energy level, the population will reduce. Okay. And so since the population in 3 level is such that M3 is smaller than N2 and is smaller than N1, the state absorb photon rather than emit. So what will happen in this condition? We have maximum population at the lower energy level and then it reduces. So if any photon comes into this system, then instead of causing the stimulated emission to happen in there, this photon will get absorbed. So in this system, the absorption probability is maximum than stimulated emission, stimulated transition. So laser will not emit at all. All the energy that we put inside, it will get absorbed and we will get nothing. So we want that. We don't want this. We want a laser. So we needed to enhance the stimulated transition mechanism. How we can get this stimulated emission? We needed population inversion. And for population inversion, we have to make a system like that. We should have minimum transition population in this level. If you see to this figure, we should have minimum population in this ground state. We should have maximum population in the middle one. Okay, if the system is supplied with the external energy such that N2 exceeds the N1, the system reaches to population inversion. So this population at this energy level we can attain by applying external energy. So here the population is high, so this is populated area, and now we have the population inversion in between this energy state E1 and energy state of E2. So whenever a new photon will come up, this will cause stimulated emission instead of absorption. And because of stimulated emission, we will get laser. So now we are happy because we have got the laser, and this laser was only possible by population inversion. And when this population inversion happens, then stimulated emission will cause, and stimulated emission will further stimulate other excited electrons to come down. So when the other excited electron will come down to the lower state, so a lot of photons will emit. When this lot of photons will emit, so it means under the population conditions, the stimulated emission can produce a cascade of light. So we also say that this population inversion and continuously stimulated emission cause the amplification of light. Okay, the first few random emitted spontaneous photon trigger stimulated emission of more photon, and these stimulated photon induce still more stimulated emission, and so on. So this is the main thing. We get laser on and on and on and on. So everybody is happy. As long as N2 is greater than N1, stimulated emission are more likely than absorption. Light gets amplified. So as long as this energy level population is high, stimulated emission will happen and we will get laser. Stimulated emission will happen and also amplification will happen. We will get a lot of laser. So then the electrons are continuously coming down because they are emitting a photon. So we need always very high population over there. So we have to pump electron continuously up as well. So we should always should keep this population inversion constant. Okay. So as long as N2 is greater than N1, stimulated emission are more likely than absorption. This is very important point. So here we again have that if we have population inversion, if we have too much population inversion over there, and the population at that lower state is low, then if spontaneous photon enter into this medium, this will cause the stimulated emission. Then this stimulated photon will further cause the stimulated emission of further electrons. So in this way, stimulated photon will increase, increase, and increase. So at the end, we will get very high output. So we entered a very low density of photon, but at the end, we got high intensity. So we amplified this beam. This amplification of beam was possible due to population inversion and due to stimulated transition. Okay, what is next? The moment the population at the lower energy become equal or greater at the excited state, population inversion ends, stimulated emission diminish, and amplification of light cease. So this is very, very sad point. So when this population increase over here, then everything will stop. And we would not like to have this. So to get that, we have to keep population inversion on. Okay. Here we have metastable state. This metastable state is important to attain population inversion in lasing systems. So this metastable state we can again understand by these two figures. So this is population in equilibrium. As we move towards the higher energy level, the population decreases. But we don't want this stuff for laser. So if we look to this figure, and this is ground state, and these two are upper energy state, and we can call them excited state. So this one we further divide these states into, this is excited state and this is metastable state, and we are dividing these two states on the base of lifetime. In this excited state, the lifetime is shorter, and in that one, the lifetime is longer. The benefit of having longer lifetime in that level is this: we can attain population inversion on that level. Why we have population? Why we have metastable state over here instead of this? So this is my questions to you guys. Why not we have metastable state on this level? Why we have it on level 2? So this is my questions to you. Just think about it. And in next lecture, if anybody is not able to explain, then I will let you know. Otherwise, it's your stuff to think about it. Why energy level E2 is metastable instead of E3? Okay, is it clear? Okay, what happens? We have ground state over here. By the pumping, we transfer our electrons to this level directly from E1 to E3 level. This E3 level has shorter life, so and this level has lifetime around 10 to the power minus 9. If you see over here, this lifetime of excited state level is just 10 to the power minus 9 seconds. So when the electron will pump from here to there, they will stay just for 10 to the power minus 9 seconds. After staying over here, they will jump to this level. And this timing is 10 to the power minus 6 to 3. And the lifetime, if you see over here, the lifetime of metastable state is 10 to the power minus 3 to 10 to the power minus 6 to minus 3 seconds. So they will stay over here for a long time. So as we pump the electrons from ground state to upper energy state, they quickly come up to this state. So this state has a longer time, so many electrons will come up over there, population inversion will attained. When this population inversion has attained, then stimulated emission can happen. So for the population inversion, we needed metastable state. Metastable state is of longer lifetime state. Okay, let's read this paragraph. I think I have explained it well. Okay, what it says: an atom can be excited to higher level by supplying energy to it. Normally, excited states have shorter lifetime, 10 to the power minus 9, and release their excess energy by spontaneous emission. So this level has shorter lifetime, and when they move from this level to this level, they will emit they will emit the photon in form of spontaneous emission. But we don't want spontaneous, we need stimulated, and stimulated emission will happen between these two levels, these two, E1 and E2. Okay, the atoms do not stay at such excited state long enough to be stimulated to emit their energy, so the pumping agent continuously raises the atom to excited level. Many of them rapidly undergo spontaneous transition to lower energy level. Population inversion cannot be established. Yes, it is true that when we have attained this population inversion over here, then stimulated emission will happen. When the stimulated emission will happen, so it means that population of energy level E1 will start to increase and the population of E2 level will decrease. So the population inversion will reduce. So it means that population inversion is not a state forever. We want to keep population inversion on over here, then we have to keep our pumping mechanism always on. This pumping mechanism will keep population inversion constant over there. Therefore, we say that population inversion cannot be established forever. Okay, what is the next? For establishing population inversion, the excited atoms are required to wait at upper lasing level till a large number of atoms accumulates at that level. So we want high population over there. So when a first electron will come from this state to this one, this has to rest over here until most of the electrons come up to this level. So this state is a resting state. So the excited electrons rest a long time over here. They enjoy this state, and then a time comes when the population inversion has get attained. The stimulated emission happens. Otherwise, this is resting state. It's a good state for electrons to get rest over there. Okay, next is what is needed is an excited state with a longer lifetime. Yes, we needed excited state with a longer lifetime, and we call it metastable state. Without this metastable state, we will not able to get population inversion, and when we will not have population inversion, we will not get laser. Okay, so is it clear to you? Just let me know. On that slide, we have major three stuff over here: population inversion, metastable state, and amplification of light. So all we will discuss on that slide. Okay, we want to get laser. This is our purpose, and we can get laser if we will have population inversion, and we can get population inversion if we will have metastable state. Is it clear? So this is a chain. If we will get this, then we can get this one, and if we get this one, then very good. We have a laser. Okay. So this is, if I look to this figure, we have this three-level energy state. We have this ground state, and then we have two excited state. One state is metastable state, this middle one, and the upper one is excited state. And we already have raised the question why we do have metastable state over here. Okay, first what we do, we have too much population at this level, and the population at these two levels will be low, and we want to attain population at this level. So what we will do, we will excite the electrons from here up to there, to this excited level, and this excited level has short lifetime. So the lifetime is a short, they will quickly come to this metastable state. At this metastable state, they will rest until most of the population from here come to this state. So this is the state that has a longer lifetime. When much of the population has attained over here, then a stimulated emission will happen between these two levels, and then we will get laser. So when the first electron will show a stimulated emission, then we will get two photon. One will be from the spontaneous emission, and the other will be from stimulated emission. then the other next electron will also come down. So in this way, the stimulated photons will increase. By increasing the stimulated photons, our light will get amplified, and this amplification is shown over here. I have repeated this basic stuff again and again. I hope you guys have been able to understand that. If you still have any problem, because this is basic stuff, you really needed to understand these things. Okay, so this was all the things to get the laser. We needed population inversion, metastable state. Then we get a laser, and the laser will be amplified. Okay. Next is optical resonator. Optical resonator is also very important to get the laser. We will get the laser. We can get the laser without optical resonator, but the emitted photon strength will be very low. So this laser is not helpful. No one will use that bad laser. So to improve the quality of that laser and to improve the amplification of the light in the lasing system, we needed optical resonator. What is that optical resonator? Optical resonator is just a cavity. This cavity has lasing medium in that, and it has two mirrors at the end point of the cavity. So this is a figure. In this figure, this is a cavity, and this cavity has lasing system. In this lasing system, we have population inversion, metastable state, and everything. And stimulated emission happen over here in this point. Okay, then the laser will come out, and the laser will have very low intensity. To increase the intensity and the number of emitted photons, what we will do, we will use two mirrors. This is one mirror, and this is another mirror. So these mirrors will help to amplify this light. How they will help to amplify? So we have one mirror is 100% reflective mirror, and the other mirror is 99% reflected mirror. So from this mirror point, some of the photon can leak. So this is the point where we get the laser out. Okay, what happens when the first photon emit from this laser system? Instead of coming out, these electrons move back. When it moves back, it again passes through the lasing medium, and it causes further stimulated emission. When it causes further stimulated emission, then further two electrons will come out, and then these two electrons will, because this is 100% reflective mirror, so they will completely reflect from this mirror and will return back. When these two will return back, they will again pass through a lasing medium or active medium. So these two will emit four photons, and these four photons, maybe two of them emit out, but most of them return back. And in this way, the uh, photon will get amplified. So this is very important to get high quality and high intense laser. We can get laser without optical resonator, but to get good one, we needed optical resonator. So optical resonator is important for amplification of light. Okay, so this is very interesting subject. I like that. I hope you guys are also enjoying. If not, please let me know so I can help you to make this subject interesting for you guys. I hope this is clear to you. So this was our lecture today. If you have any difficulty, I can help you. So take care. Allah Hafiz.